Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me on your family lawyer today. It's been a while. We've had the breaks, we've taken the breaks. It was vacation, and we're glad that we're back from the August break, as it usually is for all of us who are lawyers. We use the time to go for conferences, we use the time to go for our own holidays and other vacations that we want to participate in. But we're back. This is September, and interestingly, our kids are resuming. Yes, my kids will not resume until next week, so I still have a few more days to enjoy with them in the holiday period. Welcome once again to your family lawyer. It is I, your sincerely L. Alright, family lawyer and also counseling psychologist. All right, today's another amazing time, and what I want to share today with you is just random. And these have to be questions that people have been asking me and the conversations that I have been having with people in the last days, in the last weeks, that you have not seen my face or heard my voice. All right. People have asked me, okay, what is that one thing that could make a marriage be annulled? Like, why should a marriage be annulled? I said today's random conversation, so we're just picking up the different issues that have popped up in the last 1 week and thereabout. So this was the case that I had today, and the reason why I decided to share this case with you was because my friend who was having this conversation with me, also a counseling psychologist, said I would not allow my son to continue that kind of marriage. So let me break it down and explain to you what the marriage was. It was a marriage that actually ended on the same day of the marriage. That is, the groom, the husband, mentioned that he did not want to continue with the marriage again. What was the issue? The issue was that he married this woman, and after the marriage, he realized that she had only one breast. Her other breast had been taken out for health reasons several years ago, and all through their dating period, she did not mention she was using something artificial. Meanwhile, he was attracted to her because of that particular physical feature, and that was the reason why he wanted the marriage. That was the attraction that drew him to this particular lady. But now she is having only one breast, right? And so we're talking about the place of deception, where deception actually matters. And this one thing that is, for example, in my divorce form, when people come for divorce, I usually ask them one simple question: if you knew this information before the marriage, would you have still married this person? It's one very defining question for us that determines to a large extent if we want to pursue an annulment or we want to pursue a dissolution. All right. So I usually tell people this, and I'm saying it again, I'm saying to everyone who is part of this life, that any information that you believe will significantly affect your partner's decision to marry you or not to marry you is core, right? It's not something you can keep away from him. So in this particular case, she had one of her boobs cut off. She had one of her boobs cut off and did not let her partner know until the wedding night, right? So it's on the wedding night he's realizing that one of her boobs did not exist, it was fake. Meanwhile, he claimed that his primary physical attraction to her was to her boobs. And right now he's coming to realize that that was fake. So to him, he did not want to continue with the marriage. And of course, every judge will agree with that is a significant information. Like, it is something significant that determines to a large extent whether a person still wants to be with you or the person doesn't want to be with you. So you get it now. I want to believe you understand it. Another issue that also popped up was a case that a colleague handled. What was the issue? The man wanted custody of their only child, and the woman also wanted custody of that child. Now, the man was not remarried since they were divorced, but the woman was not remarried. The woman wanted custody of that child, and her plans for the child was to send that child to boarding house, right? And the man says, no, this child has been living here, this child lives here, this is where this child was born, this is where this child grows up. If this child stays with me, she will continue in the school that she has been attending. She has a community, so she will still have the friends and the network of the people that she grew up around, still around her. And for the house duties and the rest, I'm going to hire a house help who will do the domestic chores so that I have all the time to give to her. She will always be able to see me every day, right? Because I don't sleep outside the house. I'll always be home every night, right? Anyways, the court gave custody to the man. I know people came up and like, why would the court give custody to the man? The court would have given custody to the woman. I'm like, why should the court give custody to the woman in this particular case? The court cannot give custody to the woman because the woman is not wanting to say, oh, I want to take care of this child. I want to be in charge of this child. I want to parent this child. I want to groom this child. No. She's like, if I get this child right now, I'm sending this child to boarding school. So I'm not going to do it. Right? So this child will only deal with me. I will only relate with this child during the child's holiday. And the father, I said, no, I'm here for all time, not just the holiday. Right? This child stay with me all time. And since you want the child to be home only during the holidays, you can have the child. So in situations like that, the matter will go to the best interest of the child, the one that is actually in the best interest of the child. So it's usually better for a child to grow up in a community, to grow up with the parents, to grow up with the people around that child, than for the child to go to a boarding house system or to a boarding house school, right? Today again, on your family lawyer, I did mention that we are going to be touching on all the different random cases that I've handled and I've had to be in discussion on in the last 1 week, 2 weeks, thereabout. Last week, I was in court, and this was my case. This was my matter, right? By my case and my matter, it means that I was the counsel to the petitioner, right? The petitioner was so frustrated regarding how the respondent has treated him. The last time he saw his child was during the naming of the child. So that means the last time I saw the child was within the first 1 week, 2 weeks of the child, right? Between that time and last week when we were in court, it was about 4 years. So the child was 4 years old last week. And my client had not seen his child since the naming period. And my client was so frustrated. We have made many efforts to have access to the child, to be able to see the child. So the court had already granted an order, an interim order for us to see the child pending the determination of the case, pending the determination of the suit. But all through, the respondent practically made this impossible for us to see the child virtually on a video call. Right. Now, my client was frustrated, and while my client had the opportunity to speak to the court, my client was like, it is he wants to just give up everything regarding access and everything regarding welfare of the child and the rest. Mind you, the court has stopped my client for sending welfare to the child. Yes, over the years that my client had not seen this child, he was still constantly sending the child a welfare package, a welfare sum. He was still constantly sending this child some money for the child's upkeep and the rest, right? Despite the fact that he was not seeing this child, he was not hearing this child, he was not seeing the picture of this particular child. So in the course of this matter in court, the judge ordered that he should stop. He should stop sending allowance, he should stop sending maintenance until he sees the child and until we actually verify that the child was alive, that we could see the child and the rest. So now, my client was like, oh, well, the court has already stopped me from giving welfare, that I should not give welfare again, that it does not see any reason why this woman would deserve welfare, that, and the rest. Court has given order for me to be able to see this child, but I've not been able to see this child. In all of that, I think I just want to forget about the child and move on with my life. So my client was frustrated and he had made that particular decision. But guess what happened? My Lord said, no, I will not agree to that. That's your child. That's your son. The son has a right to his father. The son has a right to know who the father is, to see the father, to have the father in his life. And the court said, I'm not going to let it go. I'm still going to make an order for that child to be brought to court. I'm still going to make an order for me, for you to see that child and have a relationship with your child. So there are many times, forgive me, I have a flu. That I had a flu yesterday, but it's already going right now. There are times that a person may not want to have anything to do with his child again or her child again, but the court will not agree. Because this time, what the law is looking at, what the court is looking at, is not the parent, but the child. So it's always in the best interest of the child. So the question is, what decision will this court make that will be in the best interest of the child? That is always the big thing. That is always the paramount thing. right? So when you have this clear picture, you have this understanding, you're able to say, okay, this is actually how it goes, and this is how it is supposed to be. When you're family lawyer today, I would like to leave you with these very bright words. Remember, I said I was suffering from the flu, so I'll bother my head once in a while to sneeze and to clear my nose. Forgive me for that. Right. But today, one of the things I want to share with you, one core thing that I would like to share with you is the words of a wise man, a jurist, who said, what the courts will do and nothing less pretentious. That is the law. What is the law? What the courts will do and nothing less pretentious. So when it comes to family law, many of the times, and people bring up their family law issues to me, and they bring it to our office, and we analyze it. I sometimes look at that family matter, and I'm looking at it this time not as a lawyer, but I'm looking at it like a reasonable man and asking myself, what's the best human decision in this particular case? Many people don't like it because the best human decision will not favor them, and interestingly, I'm supposed to be their lawyer. And I'm like, what you want is not fair, it's not equitable, it's not justiciable, it's not right. I remember one case like that, and we still had to review this case in court last week. Today is just random conversations of the differences that have happened between last week and this week, and what lessons, family law lessons, we can learn from all of them. So, last week I was in court, and the welfare officer was telling me of how she saw one of my clients come to court, and I was not his lawyer, and he was wondering like, what happened? I know Marissa Alright to be a lawyer, and I said yes, I actually withdrew from that case. I was not so interested in that case because that client was wanting me to go to court to do something that is unfair. What do I mean that is unfair is the fact that he had a problem with his estranged wife. Like, he had issues with his wife. His wife had not treated him right. His wife had not treated him properly, true, and correct. And so because of that, he wanted a situation that the wife will not have access or have communication whatsoever with the children. Now, that's the second case I'm having in this same type of thing. I'm having a situation where a man is wanting to cut off the wife from having access to the children. What's the reason? Let me blow my nose again because I don't know what happened over the night, but I have been sneezing and having to clear my nose. Many times it happens, we get to family court, and because people are hot and they are still grieving, rather they are not even healing because they are not doing anything practical to try to heal, we see those people trying to get back at their spouse through the children. Of course, they have no connection again, so they are trying to get back at their spouse through their children. So they want to cut off the other person. So this time, I'm having two male clients who want to do that to their exes. And I'm like, no, you may hate this woman, you may have divorced this woman, you guys may have gone your path, but these children have a right to their mother. They have a right to have a relationship with their mother. They have a right to enjoy the presence of their mother in their life. One of my clients agreed with me, and we were able to get the case done. In fact, at the end of the day, he got all the reliefs he wanted because he followed up my simple counsel. And what was my simple counsel? I'm not going to deny this woman access to the children. She's going to have access to the children. She's going to be able to have them for holidays. She's going to be able to come into town and hang out with the children and all of that, right? By the time I was able to convince my clients on this, my client was able to pursue the other reliefs that he wanted, and he got it. Because yes, you may be my client, but I don't see any reason why the kids should suffer for the irresponsibility of the two adults or any of the adults. Like, the two of you, the two adults in this marriage are the ones who have misbehaved. The two adults in this marriage are the ones who are unable to continue together as husband and wife. So why should this innocent child or this innocent children be the ones who will suffer the consequences? Why should they now not be able to relate to the other person just because of how hurt you still feel? That's why I usually tell people something simple, and I'm saying it again, and I'm going to say it loud and clear. If you follow me, you know I regularly say this. That for many of you who think that your mother walked out of your life, or who think that your father walked out of your life, that may not be the full story. In court, while you are being sworn in to give your evidence, we always say to say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Many times, those parents tell the truth, but they don't tell the whole truth. They usually don't tell how they have blocked off the other parents from having access to the children. They usually don't tell the part of how they have prevented the other parents from having access to the children. They just come up and tell you, oh, your father walked away, your mother walked away, he was irresponsible, you left you to only me, I was the only one that suffered to take care of you, I was the only one that went through this, I went through that, just to ensure you have the life that you have now. And all those things that they say, in reality, that may not be what really happened. Right? So in this particular case, this man was bent on denying his ex-wife access to these children. I mean, even via phone call, even via video call. And I was not going to do that. I was not going to be part of that. Right? I refused. I fought against it. I complained against it. I reported the particular situation. And he chose another counselor. He chose another lawyer. And I was fine. I was very glad because I don't want to be part of that kind of thing. All right. Yes, I'm a family lawyer and I'm also a counselor psychologist. And at the end of the day, what the courts will do are nothing less pretentious. It's usually what I'm targeting. So I'm always like asking myself, what is the justice of this particular case? In the sense that what is it that will actually be fair? What will be the fair decision? What will be the most righteous decision in this particular matter? Should I tell you another random matter? Another case that was handled, because today I just said I want to discuss random things and tell you different things. So let me mention two others. All right, so we have this one who the partners, the couple are separated. All right, so we have a situation where the couple are separated, they are not together. Many times it is the exertion of marriage. So it's a counseling that I have handled, but a legal counseling right now, not a psychosocial counseling, right? Legal counseling. And we reviewed, that was on Friday. Yes, on Friday. We reviewed and discovered that in the last 2 months, the man only contributed 1,000 naira, has only sent 1,000 naira welfare to his wife, ex-wife. And I asked him, I'm like, if these people were to be in your house, let's assume they were not separated, you definitely would have spent more than 1,000 naira, right? So let me blow my nose. If these people lived in the same house with you, you definitely would have spent more than 1,000 naira in 2 months. So say that all you had was just 1,000 naira to spend in 2 months is actually not fathomable. Yes, he was out of job, he was trying to make ends meet and the rest. But the question is, imagine this kid and the mother being in the house. You will spend more than 1,000 naira, right? You could have gone to somebody and say, please give me eggs on credit. I will sell it and bring you your money, right? You could have said, oh, I want to work as a bricklayer. I want to do anything possible just to ensure money comes and just to ensure money shows up. It's not that you're sick. It's not that you're capacitated. You're a full body, healthy man, or you're not doing anything, right? So for things like that, we just realize that, see, what's happening here is you trying to pay the mother back through the child by refusing to give welfare and provide for the child because you're still angry with the mom. I still remember another case where I had to tell the two people, come down and discuss. I know the two of you hate yourself and you don't want to be together again. You are angry with yourself and all of that. I know that. And you see me, I'm not going to force you to like yourselves. But when it comes to these children, make the right decisions that are beneficial to these kids. Make the decisions that will be in the best interest of this kids. Not necessarily decisions that you feel will hurt your partner. Because that's the annoying thing. That's the one thing that we'll see. And it's terrible. So we are finding people who are, yes, I have seen that. I have seen a couple, I have seen somebody who have been divorced for more than 40 years. Yes. They have actually been divorced for more than 40 years, and yet she was still trying to use the child to get at the other person. I mean, more than 40 years, This person has remarried her children, this person has remarried her children, but still try to use that child that they had in between themselves to get at the other person. And I'm talking about more than 40 years divorce. It's crazy. It does not make sense. Right. So when you come to family law or you come to family court, you are actually coming with the reasonableness. You're actually coming with the fact that, see, we are going our separate ways, but these are the reasonable grounds.
And when you're able to do this, once you do this, everything will definitely be fine. My name is Elam. All right. I wish I could spend all of this evening with you, but I have to go. If you have any family law matter that you want to discuss with me on, I want you to DM me right away. Not just that, you want to use the details, right? So do for details to be showing on your screen so that you can also reach out to me, right? You can reach out to me. You can screen right now. Sorry, it's holiday period. Okay, there you go. So, you could actually use the details that showing on your screen to reach out to me, and I would attend to you. Right? Remind you, the things that I share here, they don't amount to professional advice. It's not professional counsel, so I would suggest that you do everything possible to speak with a lawyer or to reach out to me so that we can see we can give you the best of advice regarding that particular matter. My name is Ella. All right.